Hi, I am Perseverance, the soon-to-be Mars rover, and I have just begun the 7 minutes of entry, and let me here explain this all to you. I'm going about 20,000 kilometers per hour, that's about 14,000 miles per hour, and I have just barely started entering into the atmosphere of Mars. Turns out it's not so bad, at least so far. I don't know what these other robots are all complaining about. Things are just feeling nice here. I ditched my cruise stage about 10 minutes ago. That allowed me to control my descent, to be able to get right on target. But now that I'm this close, I don't need it anymore, and it would just get in the way, so I got rid of it. So that way I can begin my land. And oh man, it's starting to feel toasty. It's starting to shake a lot more in here, and I'm looking out and seeing plasma. I have a camera that will be able to record the descent, but that hasn't been turned on yet because that's underneath my heat shield. So we'll only see the final part of the descent with that. But still, I'm continuing in here slowly but surely, hitting my peak acceleration now as I'm slowing down to be able to gently touch down on the surface of Mars. Because if you go a little bit too hard, you tend to have all kinds of bits. And, you know, my friend Joe Barnard, he launched a rocket that just went and crashed on the ground. It didn't work out so well for him. But we're continuing along here. We've gone through our peak descent, and we're starting to get into Jezero Crater. I can see it. Jezero Crater is a real special crater. It has all kinds of features of water. It looks like it was a bit of a lake at one point in time, having water feeding into it from all over the place. And we are going to find out all kinds of things. In fact, we might even take a little piece of this crater and put it in some sample tubes, and someday some rocket's going to come by and pick these up, and they're going to be able to transport them back to Earth so that they can be studied there and figure out, hey, is there really life there? All kinds of interesting science is going to come from that. I'll be able to do some cool things like shoot some lasers into it, to rocks, and listen to them, and do all kinds of stuff. Okay, we're starting to no longer slow down as much just with the heat shield. The heat shield's largely burnt away through this interplanetary mission, but we're doing pretty fine so far. Now, we're getting ready for our parachute deployment, and poof, okay, we have a parachute. This is cool. Now, this is going to slow us down quite a bit, but the atmosphere of Mars is quite a bit thinner than the atmosphere of Earth. So this won't slow us down gently enough to really touch the surface of the planet safely. But it still will take a good deal of our speed away, and we need to do that. It's just too high otherwise. We're making some good progress, though, and we'll continue to slow down here. Okay, it's getting much, much better. We're getting towards the end. We still need to ditch this heat shield so we can start looking out below. And as soon as I ditch this heat shield, then we're going to start recording our video of our descent. And not only that, but the audio. So for the very first time, we'll be able to hear the sound of a rover landing on the surface of the planet. And poof, there it goes. Oh wait, I gotta get ready, Oh gosh, that was horrible. The Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter just photographed me in descent, and you know, I'm sure it'll look a lot more spectacular. They're only going to get a few pixels like they have of some of the previous ones, but I tried to put on a nice face for it. I feel like I just failed miserably, but hey, my radars are acquiring the ground below. Yay, we're going to land. And unlike any previous mission, I'm really actually going to look at the terrain and be able to manually adjust where I'm landing. In fact, I'll have the smallest landing ellipse of all time that's less than 10 kilometers across. Some of the previous missions had hundreds of kilometers, but with this tiny, tiny landing ellipse, we can get in real close. And with our hazard avoidance technology, we can land in some really interesting areas from day one. Even though we're a rover and we can move around, we're going to have all kinds of fine stuff. Okay, now we're starting to no longer be able to have effectively use of our parachute, and we're getting close to the land. So pretty soon we're going to ditch it, and we're also going to ditch the back shell, which carries our parachute and also help to protect us from the sand. Okay, poof. Okay, there we go. Now we're using our rockets. We're coming down towards the surface. Slowly but surely. Yeah, we're right on target. We're seeing our land, and we're actively trying to find the best spot, and this is great. Okay, now it's time for my big, spectacular move. We're going to do the sky crane. They're going to just gently touch us down with the back shell, just staying where it is. And okay, we're going and belly flopping down, and boom, we're on the ground. Yay! Poof, we cut the wire to the back shell, and the A sky crane goes and falls far away. We're doing fantastic. Just like our brother Curiosity that is actually still exploring the red planet. We have landed safely on the planet, and we're going to do all kinds of great science and find out all kinds of interesting stuff about this very, very interesting site. So interesting that we'll have another mission there just to pick up the samples. It's going to come soon, hopefully. We'll talk about that another day. But as a whole, I still got to deploy my antennas, my cameras. I'm going to be taking some pictures around so that way all the scientists can look around. The descent video is going to be sent to the engineers that are going to look at the pictures of the area, and they're going to be able to help figure out some of the hazards. It's not as carefully calibrated, but like my grandfather's Curiosity and Spirit, which had been sent previously, they recorded the images as they descent, and those images were quite useful for navigation. No doubt these ones will be too. They're not as calibrated and fancy as some of the other cameras, but they really have some neat looking videos. Thank you guys so much for joining me and for entertaining this little different form. I'm Ben Pearson, the Roadster Tracker. Thank you to all you guys who subscribe to these videos, and for my Discord members who help to keep me sane and posting great content like this. You guys are awesome, and for my Patreons who are helping to amp up the quality here. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys for everything, and good luck to Percy. He's going to be actually landing on February 18th, as we talked about in the previous video, primarily so it can be observed by the Martian spacecraft that are there. It'll be pretty neat, and we'll get some pretty pictures, no doubt, as we've seen before. Thanks guys for everything, and until next time, keep on tracking. Take care.